Welcome to the Boston Barrister, Kevin Patrick Seaver, bringing you insights about your family and the world.
Welcome to the Boston Barrister. My name is Kevin Patrick Seaver from Boston, Massachusetts. We specialize in family law. That includes divorces, alimony, child support, custody, modification, temp, prenups, postnups, fighting false child abuse allegations by the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families, getting DCF out of parents' lives once and for all so they can have freedom and richly deserved happiness. King Charles of England had a bitter feud with his brother, Prince Andrew. And he recently stripped him of a title he had held since birth, and that was Prince. The reason for this was that Prince Andrew had been a naughty boy. He's 65 years old now. A book recently came out that indicted him terribly by a woman who committed suicide in April of this year, stating that when she was 17 years old, she had sex 3 times with Andrew. Andrew settled out in a lawsuit regarding this case, very large sum of money. He brought tremendous embarrassment to the throne. Along with losing his title of prince, he also has been evicted from his 30-room mansion, which is next door to the Windsor Castle, where he was living with his ex-wife. Remember her? Sarah Ferguson. What brought about this demise was the fact that Prince Andrew had told a story which has now been confirmed not to be true. That story is that his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein had been discovery of emails indicating that Prince Andrew, well now Andrew, was involved with Epstein long after he said he wasn't. This is to say, not only was Andrew naughty, but Jeffrey Epstein was just beyond being naughty. Now, where am I going with this story today? If Andrew was in Massachusetts, which he's not, but if he was, he would have had the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families on his trail, as well as criminal charges by the district attorney's office, due to the fact that he would have had sex with a minor. This young lady was under the age of 17 and therefore was a child. In Massachusetts, you don't reach majority until you reach the age of 18. Prince Andrew would have had criminal charges, a DCF investigation. Certainly, he'd have been in serious trouble. We're all going to stay tuned and see if any criminal charges arises out of this book, which unfortunately the person that had been violated by Andrew is now dead. One of Epstein's victims, Virginia Roberts Dufree, was involved with Epstein's sex trade. And this just adds more shame to the royalty. Because of this shame, they only left with one decision to make, was to strip Andrew of all his titles. Her book, which recently came out, is called Nobody's Girl, Memoir Surviving Abuse and Fighting for Justice. Sadly, she committed suicide in April of 2025. She filed a lawsuit against Andrew in 2022, to which Andrew paid her millions of dollars. Andrew did a just disastrous interview with the BBC back in 2019. He mumbled and stumbled, trying to exonerate himself, but just making the situation so much worse. It's almost unprecedented for a prince or a princess to be stripped of their title. Last time a prince was stripped of their title was in 1919, when Ernest Augustus had his stripped. Why? Because he supported the Germans in World War I. Hello. Talk about treason. Siding with Germany in World War I was definitely cause for a jaundiced eye and also all types of get rid of him by the English people. God, it was Prince of Hanover. The last time there was a royal scandal was in 1936 when King Edward abdicated the throne so he could marry a woman who had been twice divorced. American socialite Wallis Simpson. The couple were given the title of Duke and Duchess of Windsor and lived the rest of their life exiled outside of Britain. Andrew, no longer prince, had had many scandals through the years with business deals that had gone astray. Tawdry headlines were nothing new for Andrew. The headlines regarded to inappropriate relationships with people and businesses, certainly not becoming of a prince. The final chapter of Andrew was that he needed money. And in desperation, it's been alleged that he got involved with a Chinese spy. But with the abuse being investigated, if it was in Massachusetts by the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families, they do not have discretion. Every time there's inappropriate touching, abuse of a child under the age of 18, that case is automatically referred to the district attorney's office for investigation. Possible criminal charges winding up in jail.